Are you ready? Patrick, can you hear me?
Malawi and boy.
Yeah, how you doing, Gundo? Gundo, I wasn't starting off because I was waiting for Veta and Adam. That's why I wasn't starting off.
I
Uh,
see. It's a good morning.
yeah, that's why I left the music to just loop on. How you doing, guys? Good morning to you. Good morning
Yeah,
to
Morning.
you, Veta. How you doing, man? I don't know if it's morning that side.
yeah.
It is morning out here, man. But hey, I gotta say this. No lie, no lie. You have the best intro music. It is 8:45 out here. I'm not quite awake, but during your intro, I'm I'm out here grooving, not wanting the intro to end. So you have the best intro music, no lie.
Nah, thank you, man. But I think I purposely I have a friend making one for Gundo. He's making it one of the producers. So Gondo is also about to step up on that African music. He wants to go with something from West Africa. So when they
He's
get
gonna have to
Gondo with
outdo
that, man.
himself because that one's a
Uh,
killer. That one's a killer.
yeah, cool, man. Adam, what about yourself? Do you have a better mic today, or you still have that 2 pound land mic you have?
It's a lot better.
Okay, cool. So let's get on with the show, guys. I'm not gonna finish the show, guys, because unfortunately, uh, as always, when I always end up dedicating myself to something else. I was supposed to do an interview. Some guy joined one of my friends. So at 2 o'clock, Gundo is going to run the show until he finishes it. He's got everything to lock in. So guys, welcome. Let's just welcome Alex. Are you doing predictions? Yeah, we're gonna do predictions in a minute. I'm thinking 4-0. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Big up to you, Adam here. How you doing, man? How you doing? How you doing, everybody in the comments? How you feeling today? How you feeling, guys? What about yourself, Kunda? How you feeling today with the game? I see Delap is part of the squad.
Oh, he is. I haven't seen that. Me,
Yeah,
actually,
I think Simon just wrote that Delap is part of the squad, daily squad today.
good. Good to see him there. Um, I've been busy, Patrick. On our next show next week, we've been thinking ahead, and yeah, we'll talk about that. But we have something coming up for you guys that will be very interesting. Be ready, be prepared, because we're going to do some good stuff for you guys next week. The show's coming up that will pique your interest, so look out for it. I don't want to say it because I know some people are watching and they want to copy us and do it. So I'm going to keep it within the family of Veda, Adam,
This guy,
Patrick.
okay,
Yeah,
let's Delap, man.
yeah. They're watching. They're watching.
Okay, it's fine. Yeah, we're waiting for the last. How do you say this? Better, I saw you say his name properly. I just know the
La,
blue
la,
part. La Blue.
yeah, La Ciel,
Laissez le
La
bleu.
Ciel.
Laissez bleu. Laissez bleu.
Yeah, La
So,
Ciel Blue.
welcome to the show, guys. So, what are you looking forward today, Vito? Today's match. Obviously, we did the match preview yesterday, but today, what are you looking? But yesterday is yesterday. Today's today. Now, looking at everything, what are you looking for us? What are you looking forward to the lineup? Do you want the lineup we predicted, or you've been thinking after you slept, saying, you know what? I think somebody else could have been put in that lineup. I
The
can
c-
share the lineup.
Patrick, man, the crazy thing is, and I love doing the prediction shows. I love us when we try to think like Pep on what's going to happen. I also like when we inject, hey, what do we want to see? I never have any real confidence with what is going to happen at this point in the season. All I'm doing is really guessing or throwing out hopes. Later in the season, when we kind of see the rhythm, we see how players are playing. We definitely see the success that we have. Then I have more confidence in saying this is going to be the 11. But right now, I'm really guessing. Um, but it's the thing. Like we've all gone without football for so long. You know what I mean? Like We had the 2 preseason games, Community Shield, and then last week was amazing. I I want to see more. I want to see more of it. The fact that those 11, the 11 that Pep picked last week, worked well, and we saw how he had the inverted fullbacks, and it was just like a different attack. I want to see more of it. I would actually have no problem seeing the same 11 with the, I guess, the only expectation that they're cooking early, that they're really controlling the match. That's the one thing that I would see. But I would not be surprised if there was a switch up in the lineup at all.
Okay, what about yourself, Kundo? After yesterday's lineup, did you see any changes? We've got about a few minutes
Yeah.
before the actual lineup drop, but did you see changes from the predicted lineup from last
Well,
night's
I mean,
show?
I've always said I want to see Alvarez, Haaland, and Foden. I do think Bernardo will start instead of Gundogan. Those are the only 2 changes that I think we may see Bernardo instead of Gundo. And then I would like to see that front 3 of Haaland, Alvarez, and Foden. I just want to see natural wingers. I want to see that dynamism. I think Mahrez is great for us, but sometimes he's predictable. And against a low block, he will chop into his left foot. Everybody knows what he's going to do, which just wastes a lot of time. So for me,
Prakash, we all of us we're hoping Haaland starts because some of us have put him in our fantasy league, and some of us decided to put him on our fantasy league. So we're hoping for Haaland to start, and we are hoping for Haaland to go. So we didn't actually mention yesterday. So who do you prefer to score, Adam? Who are the goals? Because Adam, you're not here. What's your prediction for this game, Adam, on terms of goal?
For me, Haaland's definitely scoring a goal. I would not be surprised if Julian Alvarez scores, or even Foden as well. I would not be surprised.
Okay. What about yourself? Who do you want to score better?
You know what? I've the city in me kind of, I guess, did a conservative 3-0 prediction, but I'm seeing so many of us, so much of the family being like 4-0, 5-0, 6-0, like they're expecting a spanking, right? So if that's the case, then oh my, I definitely see Holland scoring. I see that because I think there's a mission amongst the city players to find the right rhythm for him and to find his pattern as well as our pattern to make it work. I think that there's a conscious effort to do that. But if the family saying it's going to be 4-5, 6-0, I think the goals might spread around. I think it might be the front 3 all catching 1, maybe Holland catching 2 again, and again putting all the haters and the doubters on notice. I don't know, man.
Are you guys going to be happy if it ends up being Haaland carrying us game to game, just scoring?
Not really. For me, I want to see others score as well. I mean, I want him to win the Golden Boot. Don't get me wrong, but it'd be good to see Kevin score. It'd be good to see Foden score. Even if he scores 2, let Foden get 1. You know what I mean? Let's see the goals spread around. Because we know what's going to happen if if he scores 2 today and it's 2-0, which it may end up being 2-0. It could be 2-0. It could be 3. It could be 8. it could be anything. There's this narrative that can start playing around. Oh, City rely on the striker alone. What if he gets injured and what happens then? Then we know what's going to end up happening. So I want to see the goals spread around. I want Julian to get a goal. I want him, to get a goal.
Everybody wants that guy to succeed, isn't it?
Yep. Absolutely.
Guys in the comments, get involved. If you've got any questions, ask us any questions. And I'm pretty sure, Veta, I don't know if you're online, you've already seen that Sergio Gomez is in Manchester now. There's pictures.
I woke up seeing those pictures because I didn't see any of that when I crashed last night. So, man, things move fast.
Sergio Gomez, I didn't get your opinion. I got Carl's opinion, and I've got Carl's opinion, but I haven't got your opinion. Even this what you get this fraud, Adam, I haven't got your opinion too.
Patrick's for the violence today. You know what? I think I'll be honest with you. In terms of like geeking out and nerding out and really having a strong opinion on him, I'm not there yet because I'm one to not only and again, it's a habit that I've now picked up from you and Carl. I'll do a quick look, see what I see in terms of like video comps or whatever. That's one thing. But then to go and do the player comparison, see how they compare to, our, players currently or players that have just left, to see how they might fit. I haven't geeked out like that with him yet. But I also know that if it's been such a mission to acquire a player like him, from a profile standpoint, he's going to work. He's going to fit in. So I have confidence in that. I don't doubt that. What I do want to see though is, I guess, how soon he would actually like get to play, because if I remember correctly, we obviously play Bournemouth now. The next game is Newcastle,
Yeah.
and then with
Palace.
Palace is going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game in terms
So
of
how fast
like.
do you want to see him, or do you want to just leave him? Because you know what I'm thinking. I'm like, should we just leave him until a cup game? I was like,
No.
like Cancelo might need a bit of a rest. Do you get my point? Like,
Let me, if I could, so I did some digging and some research on this guy. There's an article that.
Oh, your mic. You might have unplugged it.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, but it's crackling. Your
Okay,
mic's
hold
crackling.
on a second. Carry on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. So,
Oh.
like, would you like to see him fast?
I want to see him sooner.
Take your time.
I want to see him sooner, because again, what I love about the club is, they drop some training footage. They see how he's gelling with the squad, and if he's obviously named, like if he's on the team, not the starters, but if he's on the team sheet and he's traveling as early as Newcastle, I to expect him. Oh, we hear you clearly. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, Beta. So I read an article yesterday about this guy, and there are two things that I really want to say. I don't understand this. All of a sudden, can he defend? He can't defend. Where it comes from? It's almost. It seems like we're disappointed, and it's almost still smells of arrogance, right? Because here's a kid who won the silver ball in the under-17 World Cup that Foden played and got the golden ball in. Silver ball is the second best player in the whole tournament, right? He played with Phil Foden. Here's a kid who they say has excellent technical foundation. He's neat, he's tidy in ball carrying. He likes to play short 1-2 touch football. He has strong ball striking technique, and his preferred is left foot. And he executes different techniques. He's sharp, technical, left-footed player on both sides, has undergone a transformation in the underleg, and now is a swashbuckling, overlapping left back that looks to constantly get forward. Right? This kid has something to prove. He's hungry. You think that he's coming to City to just sit back and just kind of, he is going to be fighting and hungry to make a point.
I hear that.
We should just back him. A year ago,
100%.
A year ago, nobody heard about Cucurella.
Yeah. No, I hear that. And the amazing thing, the funny thing is with us as a fan base, and this is why it's great combo, because even with what you just described, right?
I'm gonna cut you short. I'm giving the keys to you, Adam, and Gundo. You guys can carry on with the show. I have to be going now. So there's your lineup. You can go and talk about the lineup, and Veta, Gundo, I think you guys can answer this question too. So guys, that's me, but these guys will continue anyway. See you guys.
All right. So we have Abdul says, do you guys think we should go for all trophies, or should we prioritize given our squad depth? Veda, what do you think about this question?
You know what? There's you can't go in life. You can't pursue success without wanting to challenge for everything, but because you have to challenge what's in front of you. So the way these cups are lined up, you prioritize what's in front of you, and you adjust along the way. So I want us to go after the League Cup. Regardless of squad depth, we have to think about the point in the season and who we have, who's available. I think we should go after it, and then as the season continues, and then now we're dealing with the FA Cup, depending on player availability, depending on maybe fixtures and where they land. Again, I think we still have the depth to challenge anyone at that level. even if we may have to rely on some bodies that are maybe quote unquote not key 11 starters. But I want us to always be aggressive and looking to win, because that attitude you really shouldn't be turning off and on, right? You want to
Right.
be a winner all the time. So when it comes down to, and Pep did it last season. Pep was pursuing the same trophies we always do. He did put bodies in, whether it was rotation, whether it was injury, whether it was, also commitment with regards to you're not playing as many league matches, but you're going to be playing cup matches, because obviously we had Steph in net for many of those. The the only thing that I ask is, as we get later in the season, and if it is due to injury, that I ask and expect the same thing from Pep. He's going to prioritize and ultimately prioritize the league and then Champions League, because he prioritized the league when it came down to us and
Yeah.
Liverpool in that FA Cup.
Yeah.
And between him and Klopp, Pep made the right decision, because the bodies we still had available to close out the season, whereas Klopp and Liverpool, they had their challenges moving beyond because of how committed they were in that FA Cup and the team that they
Right.
field. So I trust our manager, man. Let's go for it all.
Right. Just to remind everyone, the lineup is out. It's Edison in goal. It's Kyle Walker right back. Ruben Diaz, center back. Nathan Ake gets to come back again. Good on him, because he deserves it. Joao Cancelo left back. De Bruyne, Rodri, Gundogan is the captain. We have Mahrez, Erling Haaland, and Phil Foden. Looks like you guys got your lineup completely spot.
Oh,
You guys got everything 100%. Congratulations to you guys for getting that, Adam and Veta. And Patrick, there's a question here from Daniel. Says, "Oh, FFS, no Bernardo, that doesn't look good." I mean, it's not surprising, Daniel, because Gundogan played well, and according to Pep, if you play well, you continue playing. That's why Nathan Ake starts again. That's why Cancelo starts again. So it's not a surprise. We'll see what happens. Grealish out. Lachelle Blue says Grealish out, Mahrez in. Yeah, it looks like Grealish is out. I'm glad that Foden's on the left. I think Foden gives us that width from the left because he's a natural footer. And then we have the inverted winger on the right-hand side, which I don't mind. I just don't want to see two inverted wingers, because it just makes us narrow. And Lachelle Blue says just one change from last week. It's not a bad lineup.
not
I
at
think
all.
that I think people are panicking because of the Bernardo. Listen, guys, out there, if Bernardo goes, right? We will survive. We'll be okay. David Silva left, and we were fine. Sergio Aguero left, we were fine. Vincent Company left, we were fine. Pablo Zabaleta left, we were fine. If Bernardo leaves, we'll be fine. The club will find a solution for us to go through. In fact,
Yeah,
go ahead, Veda.
I think some of us might be reading a little too much into it with the fact that he's not playing, because you mentioned it, Carl. Like Gundogan played so well last week, right? And his effectiveness in the squad, you can see why Pep is like, you guys run it back. Like we're gonna attempt to do even more than what we did last week. With that one change with Mahrez instead of Grealish, but I don't like. We shouldn't be like, oh, Pep's now put Bernardo in the doghouse, and this means that he's definitely leaving, and we're going to be without him for the transfer window. I don't think we need to go that far. We know Pep does things tactically with each upcoming week. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and I mean, and the reality is, listen, guys out there, right? Just open your minds up for one moment, right? If he goes, he goes. We get the money, we get a replacement. We get the money, we get a replacement. It is what it is. There's no, the club is bigger than the player. The institution is bigger than the player, and we just need to make sure we are prepared for what comes next. Now, I don't think he's going to go. I've said it from day one. But if he does go, Patrick and I have 7 replacements that we think we'll be able to bring in replace, and we'll talk about that this week. That's going to be the show. 7 replacements that we think can replace Bernardo Silva, and we'll do the analysis. We'll do all the stats, the charts, everything, to make sure we give you guys some insight as to how we think we're going to replace him if he does go. Kamal does. I think Pep will wait till the window shuts to start playing Bernardo just again, just to make sure. That's probably an option. Viv says Aguero said it would be a mistake to let Bernardo leave. That's his opinion. I don't believe that as well. I think we all know if Barca pay the money, he will leave, but no doubt we're replace him. I think, Daniel, it all depends on time, right? If Barcelona pay the money on December 31st, we can't let him go because they have 1 day to replace him. And that's not going to happen. So there's a window of opportunity that if they give £100 million on Monday, I'm sure we'll take it, and then we'll replace him. But they can't come at December 29th or 30th and say we want Bernardo. The club's not going to agree to that. It only makes sense.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, Kamal says no playing, but will leave with a bunch of players who wouldn't be match fit.
Again, you know what?
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Pep's in a. It's not a tricky one. I shouldn't say that. It's not a tricky one. But Pep has to be consistent, right? And which he is. He's consistent in saying, if like player wise, if you're not happy, we're not going to hold you hostage. And he's also very clear in saying, players play with earned effort. You earn your right to play based off of what you show in training and based off how consistent you are. So all those things being consistent, that's how he's managing the players. That's how he's managing who starts and who doesn't. So the overreading, the overanalyzing really shouldn't be there, because again, if a player goes, Pep has said to everyone, if you're not happy, we will let you go, but it's going to have to be at the right case for the club. And let's all trust that if Pep is like, yeah, see you, he's already got the plan for who's next. A lot of these rivals that want to talk about doom and gloom, if Bernardo leaves, Pep's arrogant, City won't be able to continue their success. No, like Carl was saying, we've always shown the ability to still be successful and consistent and win. So let the rivals talk wild like that. We're still going to be okay.
Yeah, again, it's about the institution, right? It's not about the player. It's about the system. It's about what they've built. It's about the teamwork. I mean, I was watching the All or Nothing for Arsenal yesterday, the whole Aubameyang saga, and it was intriguing how Arteta managed it. And I backed him all the way. I mean, when you look at what Oba was doing, there was a scene where Aubameyang goes to Barcelona. The club didn't know he went to Barcelona, right, to force his transfer. The club did not know. I'm thinking to myself, what kind of person is this? What kind of mentality is this? Your character is more important than what you do, in my opinion, on the field. And Bernardo has been great for us. There's no doubt about his character. But if he wants to go to Barcelona with what they're going through right now, and we get 18, 90 million pounds, let him go.
Yeah.
Take the money, invest in another player, and we roll. It's not hard.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, tying it back to actually, and with regards to this game, I haven't seen the all for nothing yet, so I definitely have to get caught up with it. Do you think Pep takes the same or similar approach with how the defense are going to play offensively?
Yeah, I think for this game, I think the reason why he's starting Gundogan again in particular, not Bernardo, Gundogan in particular, is because he expects Bournemouth to have a low block. Now, remember I talked about this a week ago, Vader. We talked about the fact that Bernardo's not as useful against a low block. Bernardo is useful when we play a Liverpool, when we play a Paris Saint-Germain, when we play a Barcelona, for example, because they like to press high, they like to run. So he's useful because he runs around and closes the ball down faster, more energy than Gundogan does.
Mm-hmm.
But against a low block in tight spaces, right, there's no surprise that Gundogan gives the assist to Erling Haaland in the first game against West Ham.
Right.
If you recall, against Aston Villa last year, Bernardo started the game, right, and we were down 2-0 because Villa played that low mid block and we couldn't break them down. And they counterattacked us. No surprise that Gundogan comes in, all of a sudden, he's in the pockets, creating space and scoring 2 goals. So it's completely tactical. I don't think because Bernardo is going to leave, all of a sudden, that's why Pep is benching him. I don't think that's the case. So it's just tactical and the right thing to do. You guys predicted it on the show, so I wouldn't put too much stock in this notion of all of a sudden there's panic because Bernardo's on the bench. No.
I hear that. I think what I'm excited to see. And for those of you that don't know, I'm out here in Toronto, so the game actually goes off at 10 a.m. for me, which is different for you guys. But I'm excited to see the defense again. I'm excited to see Walker and Cancelo, and do they take up the same spaces? Do
Mm,
they handle the ball even more and allow for Gundogan and KDB and Rodri maybe to get into pockets first before receiving the ball? Like I'm curious to see how they actually played out. And I know you have that appreciation in terms of like tactical changes and movement, being a coach yourself. So it's weird to to want to focus on a defense
mm.
of a Manchester City team and see how they move. But I'm excited to see that today.
I reckon what we'll see today, Beta, is we may not see the 2-3-5 again today.
Okay.
I think that's a specific West Ham play because we wanted to counteract their strengths. And even Mikel Antonio for West Ham talked about this, that what we did to them was nullify their strengths. They like to play narrow and they like to counterattack through the middle. And so when you play those inverted fullbacks, double inverted fullbacks, what you do is you deny them space in the middle of the park because you control possession. Right. I think against Bournemouth, I think what we'll see more likely is Cancelo tucking into the middle and then us playing a back three with Ake, Diaz, and Walker. And so Cancelo now becomes the double pivot, if you would, and then Gundogan has license to go forward as one of the eights on the left.
Gotcha.
That's what I think we'll see today. Again, looking at what Pep may do or not. Again, I think like you, I'm interested in what he does tactically in the game, as a learning experience to improve my own football IQ, my experience about football, and then use those same tactics to coach my kids when we play tomorrow.
Nice.
So, yeah. Wantali says Wantali is one of the Patrick's followers, has been promoted to the host. Well done, mate. It's by circumstance, Wantali. I'm just the lucky guy to help host Patrick's space. But guys, what do you think out there? What will the score be today, guys, out online? Is it going to be a high-scoring game? Is it going to be a low-scoring game? How do you think Bournemouth is going to set up? What do we expect to happen? Madam and Vader, on the show yesterday, what did you guys predict as a score?
Adam, you can go first.
I said 3-0.
3-0.
Yeah, the weird thing is I said that as well. And I said that feeling like, why? What? I'm already predicting a 3-0 for us, and then I'm hearing and I'm seeing other members of the family talking about, it's gonna be a high scoring game, and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna be mad at that. But yeah, I went with 3-0 as well.
Do you think it all depends on how we start the game? Meaning, if we get the first goal in the first 10, 15 minutes, it's all hell's going to break loose, or we'll.
Yeah, I think the classic City score within 7-8 minutes. If that happens, the floodgates are gonna open up. I think it's the first home game, right? We can't forget that. Us, that are international. The fans are going to go wild for that first home game, especially for those returning after the excitement that they had at the last, the season-ending game. So I think the crowd's going to be amped for it. I think because of that, Bournemouth might play a little conservative because they're at the Etihad. The fans are going to be so amped up. Maybe they're not as adventurous and progressive offensively. So City's going to dominate the ball, and I think if we get that one goal, it's going to be the crowd's just going to want more. The fans are just going to demand more. So it could get ugly, but I think it's because of that first home game. Everyone's going to be amped up.
Absolutely. And right now, Villa have just scored against Everton. Hey, Adam, I mean, Everton are in trouble.
Failed. Man has.
Hey, he's back. He's back.
Man has issues, so he failed to show up. So.
He's back. Welcome back.
Yeah, so I'm back.
The host is
so
back.
what were you talking about?
No, we're just talking
about Everton.
We were talking about the game today in terms of the scoreline, what people predicted, and then we just saw Everton lose 2-0 against Villa, and we're saying Everton have some real problems.
Yeah, man. Even after getting Connor Cody, and that's quite weird, man. That's just a manager. I'm sorry. People say that our team is shit. No, that team is not bad. You can fix that team. I think it's just Lampard is not great. I think he's
no,
not
but
good.
Patrick, it's not only that. It's not the manager. It's when you with Everton's issues that they've got money. but they've got idiots running the club. They don't have the right people in the right positions. That's what I like to call them. They've got a load of money, but don't know how to spend it
That
rightly and don't put the people in the correct position. If ever to put people in the correct position that know what to do, yeah, footballing wise, then yes, I think Everton will do quality signings and probably pushing for maybe top four or even a Europa League spot. But the problem is they don't know what they're doing. They're just chucking money at it, but not in the right places and for the right players.
Vader, I have a question for
Can I
you,
can I can
Patrick.
I ask
I
can I ask
have a question
something,
for you.
guys? Do you
Right,
do you,
right.
do you think it's that deep that Bernardo is not in this lineup?
No, not for me.
Okay, okay.
I mean, the
So
reason why the reason why I say so, right? Uh, we talk about the fact that the reason why Gundogan started at West Ham and starts again today is because Bournemouth play a low to mid block, and those pockets are what Gundogan is very good at finding. Found Haaland the last game, scored 2 goals against Villa in the last game. Let's not forget, right? The past 2 big games that we've played, Gundogan has been effective, right? Am I wrong? 2 goals to
yeah,
win
you're
the
right.
goal. For the first assist for Erling Haaland to break the lines. Why would you drop him? There's no
Can
point.
I say something though? Can I just say that as you're speaking, right? Look at that bench for a minute, right? Look at that bench for a minute. I mean, like, look at that bench for a minute. Is that the most powerful bench we've ever had? Like, if you rank it with the benches we've had at the club, like, look at that bench just for a minute. Just look at that bench where we've got Ortega, Stones, Jack, Alvarez, Bernardo, Delap, Mbete, Lewis, and Wilson Esperant. Is
I
that
mean,
a like?
it's not the strongest we ever had. I mean, it's 18-19. We had Sane, we had Aguero, we had Company, we had all those guys on the bench in
Who's missing?
18-19.
Laporte, isn't it? Laporte, Palmer,
Yeah, Laporte, Palmer,
Mhm.
and Philip.
and Phillips. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's why the bench looks weak. I was
yeah.
wondering. I was like, that bench looks a bit. That bench looks a bit
Yeah.
weak for me, for my liking. I don't know. What
Yeah.
do you think?
Well, because, I mean,
Michael,
listen, we're rebuilding a new squad, right? And the only person who's left from the first is De Bruyne. So we're rebuilding a new squad who will prove themselves in a couple of years' time. That those same players will be legends because they'll win, and our perspective about them will change, right? Clubs have to refresh and regenerate. When you don't refresh and regenerate, you will die. So
Carlos
this is
says with
expected.
the. Do you read this? It says with the FFP situation, Frank has been dealt a horrible card. Has he though? Hasn't he been given good players? Come on, do we think? I don't know. Maybe if we have the majority of the ball, Gundo will be much better suited than Bernardo. Yeah,
Yeah,
well, that's true.
yeah, yeah.
The bench in Centurion team was much stronger. Yeah, that one was a big. That team was strong. So what were you saying,
Yeah.
Gundo? Before I said you.
You know the funny thing about this argument about Centurions versus this team, eh? If this team, the first 11 played the Centurions team, this team will probably win because this team know how to control games and they strike at the right moment. The Centurion teams were to blow you away or they get blown away. Remember the Liverpool game 4-3. Remember some games where we just counter-attacking. The Champions League game where we got we got knocked out. This team is more controlled, more mature, and will strike at the right moment versus the Centurions team. Now, 18-19 team was probably the best team we ever had. They
Yeah.
were completely balanced and they were so good, that team. And it was stronger. But yeah, I ain't complaining too much, man. I'm happy.
Yeah, what
Um,
about Stones? What do you think is happening to Stones? Guys, tell me in the comments. What do you think is happening to Stones?
Vader, I
Is he
mean,
fit?
I th-
we
yeah,
still, I don't think anything's I think it's just that Ake's just playing well. You can't drop him. What are you going to do? Drop him? Because no, he's playing well.
I think yeah, and I also think that Stones has earned the he's earned the trust also from Pep to be like, you don't need a lot of game time to be ready. So let me make sure you're fully fit. I'm gonna ease you in. There's no rush to come back because again, if he gets hurt, that's a whole another question with us looking at the bench and thinking of how thin that looks. So I think he's just like, if you're available, great, but let me give you more time to strengthen because Stones is man, he's so good. He's so good with very limited playing time. He can come in and put in a role. So and put in the
So
duty. So I think
are you
that's
guys happy with Riyad Mahrez coming in better?
yeah. I need to see I need to see what has been doing in the off season. I need to see what he's been doing in training, not having started last week. And because again, I'll be honest with you, I was part of it was with the amount of exits that happened in this transfer window. I was so happy to see him sign that extension, but still with a critical eye, I'm like, Mahrez, you're wiser, right? I want to see a few more tricks that you've added to your repertoire, and he didn't show it the last time he was on that pitch. I want to see more.
It does, yeah. Adam, what about yourself? How do you feel about the team? How do you feel about Nathan Ake and John Stones on the bench? Are you happy with that? Does Nathan Ake deserve it?
To be honest with you, it's Ake playing well. That's what it is. Ake deserves to play. He's been performing. So in a sense, he deserves to be starting. So it won't be fair on him to be just taken out of the lineup, you know.
Yeah, there's a good comment here. It says with Haaland, Mahrez needs to release the ball much quicker than he does. I agree with this. I think Vida, we spoke about this before, that where he has to get back to the days of Leicester, where when he saw Vardy make that run, I hope he does that, because I am happy that it's not Mahrez and Jack, because both of them hold on to the ball for so long. Yes, I love that. That can actually help you out in the Champions League. I think so sometimes. Let's say you're in a Champions League game and maybe you're losing. I think them two being in your team, holding the ball, causing fouls, can actually be great. But sometimes, when they have a striker, they need to release the ball very fast. So
Yeah,
I don't know. Carl, Veta, and Adam, do you agree with this statement that with Haaland in the team, Mahrez has to start releasing the ball quicker
I
than
think
try to do those step up of his?
I think what Mahrez needs to do is be unpredictable. He's too predictable. We know that when he goes out wide to the right, he's going to chop back on his left foot, and then they close the space down, especially against a back five. Right? Go on the outside for go on the outside. Don't just keep chopping back on your left foot. We all know what you're going to do. It's predictable. Go on the outside. What Alvarez offers us, in my opinion, is that Alvarez is dynamic. He can use his head to go on the outside. He can come inside. He can go through the middle. He can go. He's so dynamic on that right side. And if Mahrez doesn't take care and Alvarez begins to cook on that right side, Mahrez becomes second choice. He just has to. He has to be more unpredictable.
I agree.
I'm saying
You're
this
on
because
mute,
I'm
Patrick.
waiting to see Alvarez in a proper Premier League game. Isn't it, like, start off with Haaland and Alvarez? I was thinking Alvarez and Haaland can actually cause trouble to so many teams, because you're dealing with two people. Obviously, everybody will have their eyes on Haaland, and Alvarez will have so much freedom to
Exactly.
play around. So, guys, I don't know if you want us to stop it here or you've got anything else to discuss.
No, I think it's a good spot to cut. But I was gonna one last thing with regards to Mahrez is it I'm always looking at are you doing this as a player, or is this what Pep is asking you to do? Because
Mm.
it's hard to maybe guess the two. But I agree with that comment that came up earlier with regards to Mahrez and releasing that ball quicker. And Patrick, Carl, Adam, we've all kind of said this. Like we just want to see something different from him to keep the defense guessing. So if he's out there hugging that touchline to be able to wind the pitch, get that ball, and maybe allow Gundogan and KDB to get into the spaces before that ball gets whipped, okay, I'll look for that. But I want some creativity where you make that fullback have to defend you. Sometimes it feels like he's just squaring up the fullback and just waiting.
Yeah.
I want to see him challenge.
He's always running into traffic, as Godorian says. He runs into traffic a lot. There's a question here. Do you think we will see both Haaland and Alvarez up top during the season? I
Yes.
think we will.
Yes.
We will. Sooner or later, we
I-
will.
I'll tell you the game. I'll tell you the game we're going to see both of them play up front, right? Liverpool, Anfield. You will see Alvarez, Haaland, and Foden.
Hey,
That's a big prediction
Jesus
against
Christ.
Liverpool.
Yep.
Yeah, because remember, Jesus used to be the one in the wings because of energy.
Yep. Yep.
So Alvarez has got energy. So I'm pretty sure Pep is going to want energy. Somebody to press them. Alisson, who I believe has a bit of a weakness in distribution when you press him. So that
You know,
is it Kamel or
Patrick,
Kamel? That's the answer for you. Go ahead, Adam.
you know what Alisson's weakness is? When you force him to deliver with his right foot, he is not the greatest. If you watch it, like every time he's forced into delivering with his right foot, yeah, it ends up going to the opponent team. That's where I think like Julian Alvarez will be a benefit because this Julian Alvarez does not stop running, yeah. And it'll cause Alisson to kick it with his right foot, which he ain't that great with. And it'll end up going to say a Gundogan or a De Bruyne. And when it does, that's dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, Adam, to your point, so this is coming from the coaching field, right? So when the goalkeeper tries to build up or switch the play from their right foot to go left, so they want to kick the ball to the left with the right foot, goalkeepers who are not like Edison always struggle, right? They always, because what they have to do is they have to cross across their body, switch the play, and then swing the ball. So the angle of kicking the ball to the left from you on your right foot is always more difficult, which is why Allison struggles to make that play from his right foot all the way to the left foot. Now, Edison is left-footed, right? So he's able to do that left pass with his left foot much easier. But he can also switch the ball on his left foot to walk on the right easier as well. Something I noticed also, even when I play my kids, when I tell them to build out and switch the play, my goalie struggles with passing the ball from on his right foot all the way to the left foot because it's a difficult angle to make. So it's no surprise. Again, these are the things that I watch in the game, I implement, and I learn from, right, from both Klopp and Guardiola. Really interesting stuff.
Yeah, big up to you, man. So anyway, guys, that's the lineup reaction show. We'll see you for the reaction show after the game is played. Big up to my man Veta. Follow him on Veta Games. Follow Adam on Twitter. Then follow Carl on Pitch Points. And as always, guys, like the vid, subscribe to everybody's channel, subscribe to this channel, and we'll see you next time. I didn't get your prediction, Adam.
You were saying what?
I still didn't get your prediction. Did I leave? I didn't get your prediction. What's the prediction for the game? I know you told me who's going to score.
Yeah, you left. Me and Veta were saying 3-0.
Okay, grand. Okay, good. Okay, I'll stick to 3-0 too. Guys, tell us in the comments what your prediction is, and we'll meet you back here later. Thank you very much, guys. And you know what, Veta? Do you have any shows that are coming up so you can plug here?
I haven't landed them for next week, but yeah, next week for sure. Please subscribe, have that notification. I'm definitely going to tweet it out before I do, but there's going to be a Vader Games Why Always Me. There has to be a home and away after this first home game, and stay tuned, guys. Thank you, Patrick. Great show.
Peace.